what happens if you miss a payment. Okay, so my name is Sonia. On this channel we talk about everything real estate and finance. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always tuning in. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to the family. Missing the payment, a mortgage payment, can actually feel scary, but the truth is you actually have way more options and time than you actually think you do. Okay, so today we are going to be breaking down exactly what happens when you miss a payment, and what's the timeline for lenders to follow, what are the fees that you can actually expect to pay, and how will this affect your credit as well, and most importantly, what can you do to stop this from getting worse. Okay, so whether you're dealing with hardship or not, or you just want to be prepared in case this ever happens to you, then this video is for you. And before we actually talk about what happens if you miss a payment, let's actually talk about the first thing, which is, when is the payment officially late? So if you're wondering when your payment is officially late, then let's talk about it. Your payment is not officially late until after your grace period. So a lot of us don't realize that our payments is considered late until the moment we miss the due date. It's not actually late at that moment. Okay, so if your payment shows due on the 1st, your payments are due but they're not officially late. Reason being that most lenders give what is called a grace period, and it depends on your lender. There is a grace period which it could range from 10 to 15 days. There are some people that actually give a grace period of 10 days. There are some people that actually give a grace period of 15 days. So if your lender only gives you 10 days, that means on the 11th day you actually are officially late. But for those who have 15 days grace period, that means on the 16th day, then you're officially considered late. Okay, so that's when you're actually considered late, when your grace period is over. The second point is the day-to-day timeline of a missed mortgage payment. So let's talk about this. Let's walk as the days go by. So the first day, which is day 1, let's say November 1st, your payment is due. You don't pay, that you're still in your grace period. Your payments are due, but you're still in your grace period, so you're not going to have any late payment fees charged on you. Your credit is not going to get impacted, and your payment, like I said, is technically due but not late during that time. That's your first 1 to 15 days if you have a 15-day grace period, or first 1 to 10 days if you only have a 10-day grace period. So let's use the 15-day grace period. So from day 16 to the 20th, your late fee officially kicks in. So now if you're paying your payment during that period, you're definitely going to have to pay extra for the late payment. Definitely is somewhere between a 4% to a 6% month fee on your monthly payment. So if your monthly payment is 2,000, they are going to calculate 4%, between 4% and 6% of your 2,000. So that's gonna add up into your your payment for the next month, because, or even that month if you want to pay it up at that time, because you'll definitely see something like, if you pay before this day, you pay your normal monthly payment. If you pay after this day, this is how much you're going to be paying. So if you're paying after that day, definitely you know that that's the different amount you're going to be paying for that month. So you can definitely just pay it off rather than them putting it into your next monthly bill. Okay, so this is actually what is going to happen within the first 30 days. The first 15 days, no late payments are charged, no credit impacted. But the 15 days, 16 days to the 30th, this is what is going to be happening to you. Then let's get to the 30th day. So during the first 30 days you don't pay, when 30 days officially kicks in and you have still not made this payment, then your loan is officially considered delinquent. And this is what happened. Your lender will now start reporting this. They can report this to this late payment to the credit bureau, and you all know what happens when you get reported to the credit bureau, right? Now you start having a credit drop, and your credit can drop between 50 to 100 points. Okay, you may start receiving calls, letters, emails, alerts from the lender. So however you guys set it up, then they are going to start trying to contact you to find out why the mortgage was not paid, so they can have an understanding. Okay, and remember, we're still very far from foreclosure on this 30th day. Okay, you wait, and you still don't pay. 45 days into this, then a lender assigns you an HUD approved counselor. So they will look for a counselor for you, just to make sure that they get to know what's going on with you. Why are you unable to pay for this mortgage? Okay, and this is required by the federal government for many mortgages, so they will have to go through this because they want to make sure they are following the law. Okay, and you might get contacted by a loss mitigation department or a housing counselor. So depending on which one contacts you, but somebody is definitely going to be contacting you 45 days into you not paying your mortgage. All right, and they are just trying to help you. They're not trying to punish you. So if you are able to, make sure you talk to them so you can explain yourself. But if you are still unable to pay during that 45 days and it gets to 60 days, that's your second missed payment. Okay, so 60 days is 2 months for you not being able to pay your mortgage. And now as the days go by, the consequences equally increase. Okay, so what would change during the 60 days of you not being able to pay your mortgage? The first thing is more collection attempts. Okay, you're going to see more collection attempts, more fees added into your payment. The impact on your credit is going to be stronger than how it was during the first month, and you're going to see something like a risk classification of seriously delinquents. All right, and then if after the 60 days you still are not able to pay up, well, we can definitely say maybe you wait until the third month, which is going to be 90 days into your payments, which you still are not able to pay, or you missed it, and that's going to be the third missed payment. Now you might have what is called a notice of default. So they might send you a notice of default if you're unable to pay that money, right? And then they might be able to start explaining when you can see a foreclosure timeline, and they'll let you know what are some options you might be able to have for you to be able to avoid this foreclosure. Okay, and if after that you're still unable to pay, then let's say you wait until it goes to 120 days, and that's the fourth missed payment. Then during this time, during the 120 days or after the 120 days, we can start seeing what is called the foreclosure process. So foreclosure might begin 120 days. Keep in mind that the first 30 days you don't see foreclosure, even 60 days you don't see foreclosure, and that's because mortgage companies are required to wait or give you up to 120 days before they ever think of foreclosing on your house. Okay, so they cannot start foreclosure before the 120 day. They have to wait. That's why they keep calling, they keep reminding you, they try to send people to talk to you to know what's going on with you, so that they don't get to this point of foreclosure. They don't equally want your house, they just want their payments. Okay, now keep that in mind. So they are going to do everything to collect this money, because of course when they get these houses on foreclosure, they might not be able to break even, because hey, they might end up selling the house way less than what you initially borrowed. So they don't want to go through it, and it's a stressful process for them as well. So the number 3 point for this video is how a missed payment will impact your credit. I just said how it's going to impact it, but let's go as the days go by. So 30 days into it, your credit drops a little bit, between 50 to 100 points. 60 days, there's going to be a bigger drop as well. So if your credit only dropped 50 to 100 points during the 30 days mark, then imagine yourself at 60. Imagine yourself at 90 days that you have actually not still paid up your mortgage. Then if during that time you still are unable, then 90 days into it, you're really going to see the impact on your credit. And the longer the wait, the harder it becomes for you to be able to recover from this credit. So it might take you a long time to be able to fix your credit the more you wait. Okay, Number 4 point is fees you face when you actually miss payment. So you're definitely going to face fee after your grace period. So these are some of the fees you might likely see after you miss your payments. Okay, you're definitely going to see a late fee. They're going to make sure interest continues. Interest is not going to stand still. If you did not make a payment, it's still going to go. Okay, so that means your interest keeps accumulating, so it will accrue. Okay, legal fee if they actually end up starting a foreclosure process, so they'll charge you for the legal fee. And then another thing is the property inspection fee. They will charge you to come and inspect if someone is still living in that property, if the property is okay. So that fee is going to be charged to you. Another thing you're going to be seeing here is going to be the property preservation fee. They have to look for somebody to keep the house intact so it doesn't go, or something doesn't happen to it while they're trying to foreclose, or while they're trying to wait for you to actually pay up. All right, so those are some of the fees you might likely see if you end up not going to do make the payments towards your home. All right, so keep that in mind. So the number 5 point is going to be options to recover after missing a payment. So here are just some options that you can actually recover, or what are the options you have if you miss a payment. So the first thing you have to do if you miss a payment is pay the late payment plus the fee. So remember I said you're going to see something like, if you pay after this date, this is what you owe. So you pay your normal mortgage plus the late fee amount. That's the first option that you have, and that's the most easiest option, Seth, if that's just the one payment miss. Okay, please don't miss a lot of payments. So if it's not it's not a lot of payments, please choose that option. But if you have way more missed payments, then you can try a repayment plan. So in a repayment plan, might be, let's say you see something like 1,500. Let's assume that 1,500 was late fee for 3 months that you did not pay. So you can choose to tell them, you can call them and tell them, okay, I don't have all the 1,500 at once, but this is what we can do. I mean, everybody is trying to see how this thing is going to get paid, so definitely I'm sure they'll be willing to work with you. So you tell them, I'm going to be paying up my normal monthly payment, but I would like to divide the 1,500 maybe into 3 payments or 4 or 5 payments so that I can stretch it. Why won't they agree? They will, though. I think they will. So they can do something like 300 a month plus my normal mortgage. Okay, so that's gonna help you pay off these payments that you owed. The third thing is the loan modification. So you can go to your lender and extend your loan term. Okay, you can equally lower your interest rate, and you can add any missed payments back into the loan. So this is if you really have a long-term hardship. If you have not gotten to this point, don't go and modify your loan, because of course I'm sure after that you're still going to pay some other fees while trying to modify. All right, the fourth one is forbearance. And remember, forbearance is not that you're going to not pay, it's just that you're going to have a temporary pause on the payments, okay, or reduction in payment. It doesn't mean you're not going to pay at all. You're still going to pay. Keep that in mind. You're still going to pay. Okay, it's not forgiving your loan, it's just temporarily pausing your loan, or making sure you're paying a reduction at that time. When you get back on your feet, you're going to pay them for what you owe them. Okay, and number 5 is reinstatement. You pay the entire amount you've been owing. So if you owed 1 month, you pay plus the late fee, 2 months plus the late fee. And if you're able to afford it, then after you do a reinstatement, you get back on track. So the last option is refinancing, but this will only work if you're current. Okay, if you're not current in your mortgage, it's not going to help you. So this option is not for those who have fallen a lot behind. It's for those who maybe just missed 1 payment, okay, and then you paid off, and then you want to refinance to something lower so you don't get yourself into the same situation. And those are the options that you actually have out there. Okay, so just ask your lender which one is available for you. Number 6 point is what happens if you ignore the problem. Well, yeah, let's really talk about what happens if you ignore that you're not making payments towards your mortgage and you not even bother to call to explain yourself to them. So what happens if you actually miss all these payments? Okay, so if during that time you had not called them and suddenly you've gotten yourself into this mess, or where you have missed like 3 payments, 2 payments, what should you be doing? Okay, if you finally decide I want to fix this, the first thing is make sure that when you call them, you are going to explain yourself. You're going to tell them what really happened, but what is going to be happening is during that time period your credit score is going to keep dropping. As days passes by, your credit score is going to keep dropping and your fees are going to keep stacking up. So you're going to have the stress will equally increase as well. You're going to maybe lose mitigation options during that period, and maybe your home could be sold. So make sure that when you're calling, you have this in mind, that this is what is happening. So when you finally decide to call them to figure out what is going on, you already have in mind that this is what is going to be happening to you, so you are at risk. Okay, so before you see 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, or 140 days without calling them, know that this is what happens when you ignore the problem. All right, so no lender, like I said, wants your home, so they want the money, not the home. So be willing and ready to actually give them. All right, and when should you call a lender? So this is going to be the last point for us. When should you call a lender? Please call a lender before you miss the payment. If you have some challenges and you know that you might not be able to meet up with the payments, call the lender. Make sure it's most importantly during the grace period, so you can make them understand what is going on with you. Or if during that time you were really not in the position to call them, please try to contact them within or during the 30 days period. And anytime you experience any hardship, please make sure you call them. People lose their jobs every day, so it's understandable. There is a medical emergency, you can really fall sick. Nothing at this point is fixed, so anything can happen. Okay, maybe you might be a family member, something can happen at any time. So if you have an emergency, whenever you recover from emergency, please try your best to contact them. If you're in the process of a divorce, equally it's hard to go through it, so make sure you contact them to tell them what is going on with you. Or if you have some unexpected expenses that could make you not to meet up, make sure you call your lender. Okay, and this brings us to the end of this video. Remember, my videos are for educational purposes only. Do your own research out there and stay safe and healthy until next time.